Welcome to a new episode of Home Visit with Tyler Siskey and the Associates. Welcoming. I don't know how I'm going to keep a straight face doing this. I'm going to have a tough time. I believe this is a home visit exclusive with my man Matt Luke, former offensive line coach for the Georgia Bulldogs, former head coach of the Ole Miss Rebels. We've been at Tennessee, we've been at Duke, former SEC head coach, and my good buddy. How we doing today?
I'm doing good, man. Just took the boys to school and back at the house.
I'm going to really try to keep a straight face. This could be dangerous that me and you're on a podcast together. Like I've said that with a couple guys, but with me and you, this could be really dangerous. So that's why we got Raquel here. So if we say something too bad, she can hit the edit button and keep us out of trouble. All right, I'm going to start this thing. I had a funny story, and I like to tell sometimes if we got funny stories, I like to tell them. But I want to tell everybody how you and I actually first met. And so I was a
Here
high
we
school.
here we go.
we're on, we're gonna start it right here. Here
Has
we
something
go.
to do with glamour shots. I
Yes,
probably.
there's going to be a glamour shot involved in this story. So I was at St. Paul's coaching high school football, and you were at Tennessee at the time. And so we had a couple good players there, and you
You had
came.
you had several good players.
Isn't it funny how like when you have really good players, it makes you a really good
I think
coach.
y'all were the high school version of NIL, like before.
uh, That's a legend. That's a legend. Yeah, we had. I've told this story on here before. Like I'm like Jimbo. NIL's been around a long time.
Yeah,
It's
yes,
just
it
now
has.
called
It was
NIL.
definitely around in 2006. That's for sure.
Yeah. So you gonna get me fired? There's gonna be a lot of high school coaches gonna be pissed now. Thank you. All right. So we had some good players. Some are still playing, by the way.
Yeah.
And so you came to recruit down there, and we would get, back those days, you'd come by and you'd drop business cards, and we were getting flooded. And you know that we had just about every school in the country came by. And then we decided that was when kind of like business cards were blowing up. It wasn't just your name and your phone number, right? It had all kinds of stuff. And so we decided to have a contest. We were going to have what we call Business Card of the Year. And sure enough, Matt Luke wins Business Card of the Year because y'all took pictures at Tennessee, and so your picture was on it, but it wasn't a picture. It was like y'all had like a professional photographer, and it was like a glamour shot to where you were kind of like, looking up at an angle, like somebody was on a ladder. So do you
There,
remember
there,
that?
there was somebody definitely on a ladder, but I didn't have the hands. Like I think I was just like, look.
You didn't have the hands, but I've been messing with you ever since then. That was, but
Never,
yeah, that's when
never,
we first
never
met.
let the facts get in the way of a good story.
Hey,
So
they're right. I mean, what's the point? So,
that's right.
and you've already busted me up on my hat before we started taping.
I,
I
I
mean,
like
we
the
didn't
hat.
even start taping. Like, we didn't even start taping before you already busted me up on my hat. You like my hat?
Yeah, everybody's got a price. Everybody's got a price.
Hey, hey, we may or may not have an announcement coming soon, but the hat, it's a really great fitting hat.
It is.
You like that? It
I do like the
accentuates
hat.
my Mickey Mouse ears.
Yeah. Well, show the matching. Like you got to coordinate. Show the
Oh, I got to
matching.
show
Yeah.
coordinate. I got to
Yeah.
flip the
There
headphones
it is.
around.
Yep. Monster earphones. That's right.
Yes. Yeah. By the way, sugar-free Monsters where it's at, so you'd like it. So that's probably what you got in your styrofoam cup right there, I imagine.
Uh, it's just coffee.
Okay. All right. All right. So, hey, so you won Business Card of the Year, so that was fun, and we had a friendship to really develop from there, and then just by the way this business works, we got back together when Hugh gets the job at Ole Miss. I came with him from Arkansas State. You came from him for Duke, and then it was on after that. I met my tag team partner and
Yeah.
partner in crime, and we went on. I shouldn't say partner in crime. My partner, yeah, we just don't do that.
Right.
We'll stay away from that. And then we went on from there. So, hey, I want to talk transition a little bit. Do you pay attention at all to the NFL Combine?
I do. I've watched not as much this year, but I'm aware. I know Jordan Davis ran a really fast 40 time. I know that.
Yeah, that's not fair. Like,
Yeah,
it's really not fair.
we'll try blocking him every day. Team run. That's
Is that does Kirby even let him play in team run?
yeah. No, he's that was the unique part about these guys. That they were good kids. They all came back with a purpose. They practiced hard. They was just it was a unique team. They obviously a bunch of good players. They're all in the combine, but just they're good kids though. I
Yeah.
enjoyed being around them.
What I get, and like we already knew he was a good player, and where I get a little bit, I don't know, bent sideways. Like, let's talk about my man Kenny Pickett. All right, so everybody wants this whole week. They talk about Kenny Pickett. He's got 8.5-inch hands, got small hands. Hey, by the way, you know what it means when a player's got small hands, right?
What was it mean? I don't know if I want to hear this.
He wears small gloves.
Gotcha.
That's what it means. but anyway, so you just trying to figure out how I was going with that one.
Yeah.
But like my point is this: is the guy has played. I don't know how many football games he's played, and now we're going to start docking him in the draft because and he can't help it. I mean, what's he going to do? Go apply for hand extensions? I mean, the guy can spin the piss out of it, and he's a hell of a quarterback. So what does that have to do? I don't know. We start fitting square pegs in round holes, and we've seen it with players that we've recruited or coached over the years about how guys get dinged for things or just the other way elevated, and it has nothing to do with the game. I just think it's a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah. Turn the tape on. Watch the tape.
Yeah.
You can play or you can't. And I think sometimes when there's two guys that are really really close, you may have some deciding factors, but it's not the end all be all. That's for sure.
Yeah, I just think we overanalyze it a ton. And then we try to make players that aren't great players. We try to make them great players because they go run some 40 time or they jump really high in a broad jump. And I've never seen these. I've never seen anybody line up and run a 40, in the middle of a football game. Now, is speed important? Sure. But I have not told this story on here. I know me and you have talked about this before privately, but I'll say who it was. When I was at Alabama, we had Kevin Norwood. I'll say, okay, so Kevin he was a legit 4.5, 4.6 guy receiver, big, good player and all that stuff. Well, he goes, and these players are athletic enough and have enough twitch, and the fans need to know this, is that they can train their 40 down by start and things like that. Well, he goes and pops a 40 time at the combine that was probably a lot faster than he normally his play speed is.
Right.
And they put a lot more value on him, and it ended up hurting him, once he got to the league because he wasn't a team's guy. And it's just, I don't know, all this overanalyzing when it comes to it just drives me bananas.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's move on. One thing I did want to talk to you about before we get into the fun stuff is, how was it? You have been on a lot of really good teams for a long time and been dancing around it for a long time. How awesome was it to finally get to the mountaintop and finally get that dub when it counted in the last game of the year?
It was it was pretty special, man. I think who it was against and how it happened. I mean, it was just we again we lost to them in the SEC championship, and we talked about all of December about, hey, let's condition more, let's do more, let's go win the fourth quarter. Let's make sure when we get to the national championship, let's go win the fourth quarter. And I think we came out against Michigan. I think we had a little chip on our shoulder. Everybody talks about the rat poison and, you're the number one team in the country pretty much the whole year. Everybody's talking about how good you are. And I think you saw that in the SEC championship. We didn't play with an edge. And I think the Michigan game, we came out with something to prove, especially if we played really well in the first half. Got after it. But in the fourth quarter of the national championship, I think that's what you're proud of. When you really push something like, hey, let's go win the fourth quarter, then you actually do it against Alabama in the national championship, and to go win the fourth quarter. To me, on the sideline as an offensive line coach, that was special. And just your whole family's there. Mom, dad, sister, brother, kids are on the field, and just be able to hold that trophy after the game. And you've been doing this pretty much your whole life, and to have that was a pretty cool feeling.
Yeah, you brought something up, and we actually talked about it on here, when we were that part of the season or whatever. But I'm curious, how much was do you think from a coaching standpoint, talking about the SEC championship game, with your players knowing that no matter what happened, you were in anyway? And now on the flip side, Alabama's playing for their life. They win, they're in. They don't, they're out. How much do you think that contributed to that SEC championship game?
I think some. I just think us not playing with that edge. I think anytime your two really really good teams are playing, that they had that edge. They were fighting for their life, and we came out flat. Didn't play well. So I think they're coming back in that the championship playoffs. It was just we had that edge. We had something to prove, and had a lot of guys that came back for their senior year, and they were like, we didn't come back for nothing.
Yeah.
So I do think that contributed some, but we did a little bit more. It was kind of a wake up call, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And so. But again, I thought we played well against Michigan, and then to win the way we did in the fourth quarter, running the football, stopping the run, old school football. That's kind of how Kirby has built his program, and to be able to win it that way, I know that was a special moment for him. Walking across that field, and for everybody, all the Georgia fans, been since 40 years.
Been a minute.
It was a special feeling for sure.
Yeah, we were like Knox's age when the last time that happened, so it had been a while. I used to send you, and I'll tell the fans this. I can tell since you're on here, I'll tell it. I used to send you text messages every Saturday night of I love when like it was ground and pound time, and then your O linemen were chasing the ball down the field, and somebody then cleaning up the piles. Like y'all had to lead the nation. Like if I was the D line coach at the other team, I'd be like, hey, look. This is not going the way we want to. Keep your head on a swivel around the piles in the fourth quarter. I mean, they were just y'all would clean the piles up, and so I loved it. And so I would take a screenshot or something and send it to you, and that was always my favorite part of the week. So
those guys took pride in it, man. They especially in the fourth quarter, we're running the ball. We would call the same play a couple times in a row. They call it covering down. They love to cover down, so that was kind of their calling card. They enjoyed that.
All right, so here's a key question: How many rounds of golf have you played in the last 2 weeks?
Probably 4.
I call bullshit on that.
Well, the rounds.
So you've texted me every time that you've played golf in the last 2 weeks.
I think just 4. I think I texted you 4 times.
No, there's no way. There's no way. 4 rounds.
Well, the course is closed on Monday. Well, maybe 5.
Okay, all right.
Maybe 5.
So have we played since I talked to you on Thursday?
Thursday, I took Cooper to play 9 holes on Saturday.
Okay, so you got out on the weekend.
I did.
Congratulations on that.
Yep. So I'm a weekday player, weekend baseball.
Yeah.
So you got that window of time where Ashley she probably doesn't want me in the house, so you got the window of time for when you drop the kids off until they get out of school. So you have that window.
All right, who's the best golfer that you played with as a coach? Like as a coach, who's the best golfer as a coach that you've played with? You gotta be careful in this. You may hurt somebody's feelings. You ain't gonna hurt mine because I know it's not me.
I'm about to go with Dan Werner.
Ooh.
I'm about to go with Dan. I got to go with Dan Werner. I saw him shoot maybe the best round of all time at the Miller Country Club or I don't know. No, it's just Miller Golf Course. I don't think it's even a country club. I think in Murray, Kentucky. I saw him maybe shoot the best round of all time. And he shot a pretty good round at Fallen Oak down on the coast. But he can swing it.
He can swing it. You're probably going to get some hate mail from Lynchburg, Virginia, after that comment. You know that, right?
Well, you got to call it like you see it. The consistency. You got to be consistent. You got to be consistent.
Hey, got to be consistent. Is there
especially with Dan moving up tees? It's going to make him hard to beat. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's bullshit. He can't. That's like Tom too. I told Tom there's none of this.
None of that.
There's none of this like. Tom
have a little pride about yourself.
Yeah, I mean Tom can hit it further than anybody from the back tees. Why is he trying to play the front tees? No. Tom's got to play from the tips.
That's right.
Anytime if Tom ever decides he's like it's time for me to move up, no, he can't do that because he needs to go on tour. Is Tom better than Dan Werner?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, he is.
Tom, Tom can. I tell people all the time. I'm going to tell the most amazing feat I've ever seen Tom.
Well,
do.
let me qualify that. Depends on what course.
Okay, that's fair.
You get on a tight course. Maybe Dan may have a little bit of an edge. Tom's got a little bit more firepower.
Yes, Tom can bang it out there. And then what I don't remember when it was. You remember how we would, as coaches, you don't play golf from like you put them up in August and you don't play again till the next year. You don't get any fall, so you go for what 6 7 months without playing, and then you play a bunch. Well, Tom would go out there the first round and he's never missed a beat. He hadn't played golf in 7 months. He'll go out there and beat everybody by 15 strokes on the first because he just goes low and it's
Yeah.
nuts. So he's too good. All right, so I'm going to tell another little funny story you told me. I thought it was funny, but not so funny at the time. It's funny now. But how pumped up were you the first time you ever got to go play Augusta? And you were texting me about every 15 minutes when you were on your way. You were giving me an update, and then you got rained out. How awesome was that?
Yeah, I was pretty disappointing. I was because I was fired up. I was excited. We get there, it's cold, and then it's raining. They're like, man, we can't do it. I did get a really good tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got to go behind the scenes, see some stuff. So that was pretty cool. But I did the very next year. He said we were going to do it, and we did it.
So
So
you got to go
that was
back a
cool.
year later. So
Yep.
what'd you shoot?
I don't. It was some. I don't even remember. Something like in
Yes,
the
you
mid
do.
80. It was like 86,
It
ish.
was
I hit a
probably
great.
exactly
So
86.
here. So I hit a great drive on number two, and then I hit a
Okay.
hosel rocket into Dustin Johnson, who was coming up three. So that wasn't very good. So
Did you even go get your ball, or did you just let?
I walked over there. I just kind of gave him the head down wave.
Just
Yeah,
act like you wasn't there?
it was pretty embarrassing.
Yeah,
So
that was good. Was that more embarrassing, or when you at the Regents thing when you hit the ball in the didn't you hit a ball in the trash can one time at one of those
I
celebrity
don't
deals?
I don't remember it that way. I don't.
You just don't recall that one.
I don't recall that, but I think it like was somewhere near it. It might have ricocheted off of one, but I don't know
All right, not counting Augusta. What was the best golf course you've ever played?
I gotta go with Pebble.
Pebble. You're the
Yeah,
second coach that said that, by the way.
I gotta go with Pebble. And I got engaged immediately following that round, so that was a good day all the way around.
You don't remember what you shot that day, though, did you?
I don't. That was a long time ago. That was a long time ago.
If you after you got engaged, if you knew exactly what you shot, Ashley may throw something at you. Is that
I don't remember. That wasn't the best part was getting engaged.
there?
So
You go. There you
yeah,
go. There you go.
yeah.
Getting you some brownie points there. All right. So anyone who's ever lived, okay, you can pick anybody. All right. This is what I don't know if we've even talked about this. Who's the foursome? What foursome you going with at Augusta? You can pick any four people that have ever lived. Who you going with? Your
You got
dream foursome.
you got to go with Tiger and Jack. Like that has to happen. So
Well,
yeah,
I did tell Raquel that when I sent you this question, if you did not start with Tiger, me and you were going to have issues because you and I have the biggest Tiger issue of all time. But go ahead.
So you got to go Tiger and Jack, and then it'd be between my brother and my dad. And I just like my dad would tear up all the tee boxes with how he kind of grinds his feet. So I'd probably go with Tom. I'd probably go with Tom. I'd probably go Tom, and we'll go Tiger and Jack.
Yeah, that would be a good one. You would you who would you let Jack and Tom play together? Because I know who you pick. Who's your partner though?
Yeah, it'd be
Who's
us
your
two versus them two for sure.
Yeah, you got to take Tiger, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. All right. As
That's
long as
right.
you said that, we're okay. All right, so we'll transition a little bit. We'll let people in. So you and I, we watched a ton of film together. Okay, a ton, probably more than we probably was probably healthy. All right, but we like to jam. '90s country was our jam. Okay, until Clay came in there with us, and he'd like to try to sneak in some Big Sean. But who's your favorite '90s country singer? Who you going with?
I don't. That's tough.
You gonna only pick one.
I George Strait kind of spans through the '80s and '90s. I'm gonna go with George Strait.
All right, George Strait.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with George Strait. I'm kind of like Eric Church, Aldean now. Kind of
Oh, okay.
yeah,
You you're
but
you're
I
you're
mean,
going hybrid on me.
yeah, I am. But George Strait, I'll go with that.
Oh, but I need to use this moment to apologize. I got my teeth kicked. I mean, I got trolled so hard last week because I was talking with Sean Elliott was on last week, and we are talking about songs that get us juiced up. And so I made the comment that because Sabotage is one of my favorite songs I listen to, and I guess my CTE is kicking in. I don't know what it is, but I said Sabotage by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I don't even know why I said that. Sabotage is by the Beastie Boys, so I need to make sure I correct that because I had all these Twitter trolls that like to shoot me messages. So congratulations, guys. I'm sorry I messed up. I'm just getting old and I'm going bald and gray and stuff. So
Yeah,
yeah, Sabotage is by the Beastie Boys. Yes, sir.
that's why I wasn't sure about George Strait, 80s, 90s. Like,
It's
he
okay.
kind of spanned through both, so I'm gonna go with that.
He did. He spanned through both, and he counts. You can say he was killing it. I mean, when what's the movie he did? I like so much. It's called it's always on CMT. The George Strait movie when he's like the Rusty is his character. He's the concert singer. It's good.
Yeah,
Pure Country.
Pure
Pure
Country. That's
Country.
right. That's right. He had a
Look there.
song. He had a
Coming back,
song come
baby.
out. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's what I love that movie. So that was in the 90s. We're good. All right, SEC stadiums as an opposing coach. Okay, SEC stadiums as an opposing coach. What's your favorite one to go into that you're like, yeah, let's go? That gives you a little bit more juice.
Probably LSU at night. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good
Yeah, it's
spot.
pretty good.
Yeah, man. It's just
Yeah, there's nothing like when you.
it's a rivalry. They don't they don't like you. You don't like them, and you're going in there. It was a good spot.
Yeah, I like when you go in and you get like flicked off by the 90-year-old grandmother every time. I mean,
It spans. It goes
it's probably
90-year
the only.
old to young, old to young, like both ends of the
Yeah, you
spectrum.
got like a 5-year-old flicking you off to a 90-year-old. Nobody in between
Yeah,
6 and 90 flicks you off. It's always the young kids and
right.
the old ladies. But that's probably the only. I'm with you on that one. I'm gonna have to go there too. I think that's my favorite one. That's the only place that I would film. Going
Yeah,
into that's on the bus or something.
yeah.
That's the only place I would do it with. I think
And
that's
there's
that's
several good ones, but that one probably just a little different at night because it's
all
different at
right.
night than the daytime. That's for sure. So
Yeah, ain't no doubt. All right, so I'm going to ask you this. We'll go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off because I don't think I've ever asked you this question. Okay, so
okay,
I have no idea what the answer is going to be on this one
I have no idea
because
what this question is going to be.
because
So
I've never been. I don't remember. I got hammered by enough people. I never asked you this, but how pissed off were you at me when the Binocular Gate thing happened when I was at Alabama and you were at Ole Miss?
I don't know if I was pissed. I was more pissed. I was trying to block those defensive linemen. I don't think I don't think those I don't think the binoculars had anything to do with the first round draft picks we were trying to block. I guess when they were like, "Hey, I didn't do it," and then you were like, they had a picture of you like up against the glass with the binoculars on, and you're like, "Hey, I wasn't doing it." I was like, "Well, yeah, you were." But I don't shoot I thought it was pretty funny. I actually brought you binoculars when you came back. I thought that was pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I was going to follow up with that one. I think the funniest thing that ever happened and is my first day back. Okay, so I come back, and Ashley comes in and she gives me a present, like a welcoming gift. And Ashley, your wife, brought me a pair of binoculars. I thought that was the greatest thing. I've never laughed so hard in my life, and it was great icebreaker. And then I had to go. I don't. It was like that weekend. I think I had to go speak to a bunch of boosters. I don't know.
Yeah, you came in with the binoculars.
I
I
can't.
thought
I
that
put
was
them
I
on
thought
and came in and
that was a good addition right there.
yeah, it was a
Kind
good
of
addition. So I wore the
yeah.
binoculars when I went to go speak to the boosters. So that
Well,
was good
so
stuff. But
let me put you on the spot here. Like
let's go.
so
I've
so
already. Let's
what
go.
how did it go? Like how much were you able to get? Was it like run pass or was it like the formation, the play, the everything?
Yeah. So here's the thing. I mean, being dead serious, and people don't ever want to because we don't like the truth is not as sexy as the lore, right? So I really was not stealing signals. Okay. What I was doing is I was doing personnel. That's what I did from the jump. Okay. So I was always doing personnel. What are you doing over there? See, you don't even believe me.
Uh,
That's why I can't do it. All right, look, the I didn't have a headset on.
so out of all the people y'all had in Alabama, they had you do personnel.
I really did. I swear I did personnel.
All right. Okay.
I swear. Okay, now
Okay,
the guy there may not been a guy
I believe you.
there there may not been a guy to the right of me that had a headset on.
Right, I got you.
Okay,
I'm with you.
all right, and I coached in an offense. Okay, hell, I called plays in the offense in the bowl games. I get it. I didn't need to look at a signal to tell me when number 3 got on the ball in 3-by-1
Right,
that it was going to be a pass. Okay, I
right.
did not need that. I didn't need to steal a signal to know that. Does that make sense?
It does. It
Okay,
does.
because you couldn't relay. All kidding aside, I've tried to steal. I mean, I've steal signals before, but here's where I got a little upset about it. Okay, and this is I'll just leave it at this. This is where I got upset about it. Is it was like I used to get accused of it's like I wanted to come out publicly and say, hey, can y'all go and rewind tapes from last year and see who that little short dude is with the headsets on stealing signals for Ole Miss? Y'all wanna go back and look at that tape? You know what I mean? Like I want to, but it
Right,
was like I'd done something crazy. And then there's other ways. If I was stealing signals, all right, there's no way to in tempo offenses. There's no way to really communicate that. Now, the one that occurred on the video, I was actually in an argument with Dean, who's an analyst, and he was like, "Oh, they're going to run it." I said, "No, 3's on the ball. It's going to be a pass. It's going to be a pass. It's not going to be a run." 3 was on the ball. They'd gone to 10 red. You remember that? And they took tight end out, put number 3 on the ball, and it was going to be a pass. So number 3 was going to run the penetrating route. So that's what happened with that. But yeah, that was lots of fun. That was lots of fun. So I got my eyes drilled out on that one. So
right.
I still get messages every once in a while. So people still they like it or they don't. I mean, what do you want to do? I mean, it's like freaking 10 years ago now.
What was
It's like
Freeze's conversation? Did Freeze call you that week?
yeah, Freeze. He was very upset at first. Okay, he's gotten better as time time goes on. A lot of stuff has happened since then. Okay,
Right,
so a lot of things have happened. He was upset at first, but once we had a talk about it, and I think he understood it, and then we're I don't want to get into all that, but I've fallen a bunch of swords for this one where I could have gone publicly and said some things, but I didn't.
right.
So I'll just leave it at that one. But yeah,
Okay,
we didn't. It wasn't. It was a lot way overblown than what it should have been.
right.
Um, and I think he was more because he knows what I did for him the year before. Okay, so I think he was a little bit probably um, thinking I was doing a little bit more than I was doing. But when you're doing it on offense, okay, when you're looking at defensive signals, is more valuable to me than the other way around because nobody huddle like if you're a huddle team, okay, now you got time to get stuff
Yeah,
communicated and all that stuff. But when you're going no huddle, there's no way to communicate what you're trying to do, even if it's run pass. And now with the world of RPOs now, when world of RPOs now, you're wasting your time yelling run pass. So
right.
it's like Texas A&M. I can tell you every single time what they were doing, and it didn't matter,
Yeah.
because the tackles are setting because everybody's running RPOs now. So, but yeah, you got anything else? You got any other good questions
No,
you've been
no,
waiting
I
up
was
to
just
save me? You
no,
busted me up.
nope. I was just checking.
Just checking.
You were right, like you were right up on the glass with binoculars, though.
I
I mean,
wasn't on the
like
glass.
like you
I
were
was
like
on the second row. I
I
was on
thought
the
like the
second
picture I
row. I
saw, I thought
wasn't.
like the binoculars were touching the glass.
You know what was messed up about that though? In the days of if NIL was it, maybe I could have got a Bushnell deal out of that. Like
Yeah,
Bushnell binoculars, very clear from 100 yards away.
yeah.
Or something. I could have got a deal out of that, but I was not pushed up against the glass. I was like on the second row.
Okay, all right.
But, but all kidding aside, like yeah, uh, Hugh was probably the maddest of anybody. Like
Yeah,
everybody else was like, yeah, but no, I mean, I think he was just upset about. He probably knew what I did for him the year before, so
yeah.
whatever. Let's go. let's get out of that before I get fired. All right. Hey, here's a question for you. Tom Luke always gets mistaken for Matt Luke. Did you know this?
I knew it some, but like not always.
All right. Do you ever get mistaken for Tom?
Uh, I'll tell you, my senior year, I won this award. I was on the front page of the Sun Herald. Uh, the Sun Herald is the Gulfport newspaper, and on the bottom they had Gulfport Admiral Tom Luke with my picture. So they had that. So I was really proud of my award, but it was Tom's name they put underneath it. So yeah,
So
I
not
mean,
since Gulfport?
not since Gulfport, but there were times when
Okay.
I go somewhere and they're like, yeah, they would some people would say it. He's getting a little heavier. I'm getting a little grayer. So there's a lot more there's a lot more similarities.
Yeah. Well, he does. Like I would be, even when we, especially when you became a head coach, I'd be with him somewhere going doing something, and people would
Yeah,
start looking.
yeah.
So yeah, he gets. I think he gets a lot more than you do. All right, so you get to pick one right here. Okay, pick one. Do you want to be the starting center in the Super Bowl, hit a home run in the World Series, or make a hole in one at Augusta?
Just because I'm terrible at golf, I will say that
You're not
I
terrible at golf.
hit a hole in one at Augusta. That
Okay.
would be that would be pretty cool.
Anyone in particular?
16?
I was about to
Yeah.
say, is it going to be 16 or 12?
No, 16.
All right.
16 for sure.
All right. You want it down on Sunday pin placement and bring down the hill?
That's right. Throw it up there. Kind of.
Like, wouldn't you almost feel cheated? I mean, I guess you wouldn't, but I'd feel almost like, yeah. What if it was like it was on that Saturday pin placement was in the top right and you made a hole in one? Like you kind of wish it was down there in that. You always want to get that bottom left,
Right.
trickle down the hole.
I would still be worried about the people like right up on the tee box.
Oh my gosh.
Those people are in danger.
Yeah, that blows my mind. Like it really blows my mind if
Especially on
anybody wants
18.
to.
On 18,
Uh,
like they're lined up. It'd
yeah,
be tough.
I mean, like I don't. I mean, it's a miracle that people haven't been like just really hit,
Yeah.
And I think I told this story back in the summer. Aaron and I went to the Memorial Golf Tournament. I think I told you this, and I can't remember the guy's name. He's not on tour this year, but he's a guy that has won about I don't know a handful of tournaments. Older guy. He's playing in he's like three or four groups from the back in the Memorial on Saturday. Well, he hits a drive on a par five and hits Aaron. Okay, hits Aaron in the back. All right. He doesn't when he comes up. He doesn't even say like sorry for hitting you. Anything else? Are you okay? He just starts bitching about his crappy lie. So I was like, it's like whatever. I mean, I guess they hit people all the time. We don't know it, but or
Right.
people like him hit people all the time. But yeah, that happened. I'd be out there. Aaron's like, what's he gonna do? She was all upset. I was like, don't touch the ball. Don't touch it. I said, are you okay? Then I asked her if she was okay. Then she got mad at me for telling her not to touch the ball before I asked her if she was okay.
Well, that was bad on your part.
Yeah, that's bad. It's my fault that he hit her with a golf ball because we were standing there. So you know how that goes. Um, how about this? How about I didn't even text you. How about my man Knox had like the speaking of he had like he was living his best life. So I had baseball this weekend, so I had the big boys here, and she had a gymnastics reunion thing at Auburn. So she took Knox with her. So she starts sending me pictures. Okay, and my wife's really bad. Like she doesn't know anybody. Okay, so she sends me a picture, and she's like, "Oh, he met these guys he took a picture with these guys." Well, it was Jabari Smith, who's about to be the first pick in the NBA draft. And I was like, hey, you
Right.
may want to save that picture.
Right.
It may be, he may want to have that. And she's like, why? I was like, well, that guy right there in that picture, he's going to be the number one pick in the NBA draft this year.
Yeah.
She goes, oh, okay. I didn't know that. And then he goes and he gets a picture with Suni Lee and all that. And so he was living and my man, Steve Ruzick, who's now running
Yep.
our guy. You remember Steve?
Shout out to Steve. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's running recruiting there at Auburn, and he took care of them and took them on a tour and all that stuff and showed them everything. So it was awesome. He had a blast of a weekend. But she was telling me, Aaron, I won't say who it was, but Aaron was telling me that it was amazing. The one thing she noticed was like Jabari Smith, who was going to be the number one pick, how awesome he was. He stayed there and signed every kid's autograph, took all the pictures and all that stuff. And then that was on Friday, and then after the meet, Suni Lee, who's probably arguably the most famous gymnast, and just won the gold medal. And then, obviously Simone Biles is probably, obviously more famous, but she's, let's call her the second most famous gymnast in the world. And she sat there. Aaron said she sat there for like an hour and 30 minutes after the meet and signed every autograph, took every picture with every little girl. And those people kind of get it. And then what Aaron was upset about is there was somebody else that was there that was very good and took 2 minutes, took one picture and said they got something, they're busy, and they left. And then saw that same person the next morning getting coffee at the Dunkin' Donuts and asked for a picture and said, no, we don't have time, and left. So some people get it and some people don't. I just thought that was kind of unique.
That's right.
Kind of unique. But all right, Mannings versus the Lukes. Who's winning in a decathlon?
Mannings for sure.
I don't know, man. I got Uncle Tom in the races. We'll put you in the shot put in the javelin.
You gotta go with the Mannings.
You just being humble?
No, you gotta go with the Mannings. You
don't think you can outrun Peyton?
They got a lot of good genes in that family.
Okay. Hey, where's Arch going?
No idea.
I'm just messing.
No idea.
Yeah, you go.
Yeah,
you gonna go.
I'm like the blackjack dealer right there.
I don't know. I'm out. You blackjack dealing?
Yeah, no idea. But great family, special family, man, all the way around, first class.
How many times you been to Newman in the last couple of years?
I think all I'm allowed to say is I was recruiting him at one point. I'm gonna stay as far away from.
I shall not plead the
any
fifth.
of those questions. That's right. I'm staying as far away from that as possible.
Hey, I tell them, I was like, look, there's two people. There's like two people you don't mess with right now. Okay, you don't mess with the IRS. You don't mess with the NCAA. Bring on Putin.
Yeah.
Bring on Putin. What you got? Don't mess with the IRS. Don't mess with the NCAA. I snuck that one in on you. All right. What weighs more weight? Just out of curiosity, does the national championship trophy weigh more, or does the Egg Bowl weigh more?
I think the national championship trophy weighs a little bit more. I do. I don't.
Okay. I was just.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. They're pretty similar though, but I think the national championship weighs a little bit more.
Why does like weird trophies weigh like an obscene amount of weight? Have you ever noticed that? Do you?
I have. I do see guys struggling at the Heisman ceremony. They're like, I don't think they're prepared for that moment when they lift it up. So.
Yeah, it's like I didn't know I was going to stretch. It's like,
yeah.
Do you remember? You want me to tell you the heaviest one that like legitly I thought I injured myself? Was because it ended up in my office. I don't know how, but when we were here the very first year, we won the BBVA Compass Bowl in Birmingham, and I guess it was because it was Iron City. I don't know. That thing had to weigh like 100 pounds.
Was it sponsored by Milo?
It was like this big.
Was that?
Oh, okay. We're gonna go there. We're off script. We're going there. All right.
Sponsored
so
by
we're gonna
Milo.
settle this once and for all. This is a battle that you and I have. Okay. Are you want to tell the Milo story? I'll let you tell it, and then I'll tell the truth when you get.
I just know that after practice, like we drove around the city of Birmingham for probably an hour and a half, looking for a Milo's. And
it was not an hour.
We went to like 7 that were closed, and we finally got to one that was open.
I can't help if they were not open. They were there. What day did we go on a Sunday or something?
I don't know. I didn't understand it. But we did finally get to Milo's.
Didn't we end up at one in like the basement of a bank somewhere in downtown Birmingham or something?
We did. That's where we finally went, and we had to wait in line when we got there.
There you go. Now, see, that's the most important part of the story. All right. So for the fans that don't know, I was so excited that we were going back. I'm from Alabama. I was so excited that we were going back to. I wasn't really excited we were going to Birmingham. I was just excited we were in a bowl game. Okay, but we're going back to Birmingham. That's close to my hometown. So
they do realize that Aaron Donald was playing for Pitt. Y'all kept down all that. Oh, Pitt's not good. I was like, well, they got a pretty good D lineman. His name's Aaron Donald. So we're going to try to block this guy. And they're like, oh, don't worry about it. We'll just go tempo.
Well, you didn't struggle, and we did, and because they didn't change defensive linemen. We told
That's
that to
right.
somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't mind it. We ran right up. That was the only run of the year we had, plus an explosive run up the middle. We ran right through their ass. I mean, that was the best run. We ran for like 9,000 yards. We ran the same play in that game like 15 straight times.
Yeah, we did.
We ran Indy 1 like 46 straight times. It's like he just kept calling it, so and it kept working.
Yeah.
But so on this bowl trip, I was excited. And I was like, have y'all ever had Milos? Because we were practicing at Birmingham Southern. Okay. And there just happened to be, this is the truth, there was a Milos within like a mile and a half. There used to be up 78. Okay. The old 78. And so I was like, after practice, let's go to Milos because we drove separate from the team. And you were like, yeah, let's go. And so all of a sudden we all load up.
No, this wasn't just me and you. This was a lot. This was a lot of people. This
it was me,
probably,
you, Derek. I know. Who else was with us? Mo was with
I
us.
don't know. There was like
Freeze, maybe.
It was 2 cars. It was 2 cars full of people following you around Birmingham trying to find a Milos.
Well, it was closed, okay, and they may or may not have some issues, but I'm a big Milos guy, and it's my favorite place to eat when I go back home. And so we drove, and it wasn't closed, and we just went to the next one. We didn't drive all the way around Birmingham; it just the next one was a little ways away. So we just made 2 stops, right?
It felt like it was more. Maybe it was 2. It felt like
Did
12.
you enjoy the hamburger?
Yeah, it was fine. I don't know about like all the gravy and stuff they put on. Like I'm more of just.
It's a secret sauce, man.
Yeah.
You don't like Milo's burgers?
They were all right. Well, I mean,
like
it was going to be hard to live after you talked about it for the whole time we were driving around. It was going to, hard to live up.
It was damn good though. I mean, it really was. All right, and so anyway, long story short, is that was the great. And then you was talking about the Aaron Donald deal. All right, so that brought up another good conversation here. So Matt, my man Matt, if you try to talk to Matt between Sunday and Tuesday, I mean, we could be playing. I bet you probably had this problem at Georgia too, I imagine. But we could be playing the worst team in America. The worst team in America. We know we're about to score 100 on them. And you'd be like, I don't know how we're going to block these guys. But then so I have to go in there and, hey, we're all right, let's go. And then by like Tuesday, you start getting a little, okay. You start getting your swag back. And then by Saturday, you're ready to go. Did you still do that at Georgia?
Yeah, I think you naturally get a better feel for the team as you get on. But again, we played a bunch of good teams there going down the stretch. So it was trying to figure out ways how you're going to block those 2 defensive ends and, Alabama's front. So, yeah, I was pretty much the same way.
Well, like even when you were playing like Tennessee, Chattanooga?
Well, you always worry about what can happen for sure.
Okay.
I think that's just that's I would say that's most O-line coaches. I would say most of them are built that way.
All right, here's another key question. This came from may or may not come from my man Clay Karcher. Okay, he said it
has
to
to do
you
with
that
hair gel.
it doesn't have to do with hair gel.
Okay.
He said, who would win in a cage fight between the Shark Tank and the Dog Pound? Because we got Dog Pound guys working for us here now too.
I got just because y'all have Festa, I gotta give the edge to Festa. Festa, like he just feels like he'd be a great cage fighter.
He would be a great cage fighter.
Yeah. So I got it. So Festa gives it'd be a good fight, but I think Festa gives them the edge. So I'd go with the Shark Tank.
Hey, you know what? Speaking, I need to use this as an opportunity too, because I get my eyes drilled out on this one too. Speaking of Shark Tank, people think that I came up with the name Shark Tank. I didn't come up with it, and you didn't come up with it. I tried to tell everybody. I didn't say, hey, I got a great idea. Let's call this damn thing Shark Tank. All right. That was a Ross thing. That's what they wanted to call it. And it was named before we even got there. So, yeah, I get my eyes drilled out on that. Like, what a dumbass name. I'm like, I didn't say anything. Man, kiss my ass.
Yeah.
So I really like to tell them. See, I can say what I really want now. So me and you are gonna get a podcast, and we're gonna call it the Coroner's Report because we know where all the bodies are buried. That's what we're gonna do. The Coroner's Report. All right. When you were a head coach, okay, when you're a head coach and you go on a home visit. All right, since this is home visit, then that's what we talk a little bit about recruiting here. And you go in and you're in this home visit and you're in there with the offensive line. You got your offensive line coach with you, okay? And you're ready to sit down and you're ready to you're smiling. You know where this is going. All right. And you're getting ready to, put your recruiting hat on and mamas and daddies, and you look down and you see that your offensive line coach's shoes are disintegrating in the floor of the prospect. What goes through your mind?
Uh, I disbelief. I would say that's the first thing is disbelief. Uh, Second thing is, why don't we just let's just stop and go get some shoes like for the next trip, because literally the soles of his shoes were coming off in the home visit, and he blamed the storage facility that he kept that he kept his shoes in, and that was the same. Yeah, so bad deal. That's a bad deal.
How about my man? I cry every time you were like, I literally looked over there and there was like black stuff in the in the carpet. And it was like a trail behind him. A man's shoes disintegrated because I guess he had kept them in a storage facility and it was the first time he'd worn them.
Yeah,
Did you really not know, like, how long did it really take you to figure out what was going on?
man. I don't know how long it did, but I was like, I guess he didn't have to recruit or whatever in the NFL. I don't know. I don't, I'm not sure why he pulled those shoes out of the storage facility. But it took a while. I was like, what is this stuff all over the floor? Then you realize it's one of your coach's shoes. Um, that's probably not the best.
Yeah,
Probably not the best thing.
no, probably not the best thing. So you don't believe in ghosts? Do you believe in aliens?
Uh,
You don't believe anything. You just like we're just kicking like a chicken.
just I'm just old,
No conspiracy
old
theories.
school. No conspiracy theories.
I mean, how do you live life if you don't have no conspiracy theories to think about?
Oh, I don't. You bet, Ashley. You got.
Hey, who leads the NCAA most Amazon packages? Ashley or Aaron?
I gotta go, Ashley. I
You
gotta
gotta
go.
go, Ashley.
I heard a giggle. So that means Ashley's listening. I heard a giggle.
She's taking the crown.
Yeah, yeah.
I wondered. We all asked her, did she actually buy the binoculars that she bought me? Did she actually buy those from Amazon? Did she get those delivered?
Uh,
She's
there's
peeking. She's probably can't remember.
yeah. I don't know, but I would say definitely Ashley by a pretty significant margin.
I love it. I love it. Well, brother, I've enjoyed the hell out of it. I got. By the way, you sneak attacked me when you announced that you were shutting it down. You sneak attacked me. Did I tell you that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I
So I had
well,
talked to.
I really wanted to tell my players before it came out. That's the challenge in the days. Social media, you want to be able to let your players know before it gets out. And so we were trying to we were able to do that. And that was important. That was seriously that was important to me because you didn't want it out
Yeah.
before your players knew. That's a bad deal.
Yeah, we've been through that before.
Yeah,
I'm with you on that. I mean, what I'll say, I talked to you on that Friday before, and you're like, yeah, a couple days. Well, I was thinking, you're gonna come in. I thought I'd had like Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm in here taping the podcast, and
yeah,
my phone starts blowing up when I'm taping the podcast, and I'm like, and I got it on silent, but it just keeps lighting up, lighting up, lighting up, and I just glanced down at one. You know how you can read the message, and it was from our man Brendan Chapman, and he goes, "Is Coach Luke okay?" And I went, I had to stop that I was taping right in the middle of taping with Cole. I said, we got to pause right here. And I looked and I said, he done did it. And you didn't wait long. You did. You said a couple days. I mean, shit, it was what, 2 days after that. So it wasn't
yeah.
long.
That's right. No, it was
How hard?
no, seriously, a tough decision, man. It was it's all I've done my entire life, and people at Georgia have been great to me since I've been here. Kirby got kids the same age. Ashley loves Mary Beth, the whole deal. I mean, just won a national championship. It's all you've ever done. But just didn't want to have any regrets. The boys are getting older, and the more you talk to people, are like, man, you don't get this time back. Like this time is, you don't get it back. And so
No.
I'm looking forward to being a dad, spending that quality time, taking them to school, going to the baseball games, and just being a dad. I'm excited about that, and just already you could just see the relationship. with Cooper and just being there, taking him out to the golf course, being in the dugout, just all those little things that you take for granted. It's so far so good.
You gonna coach baseball?
Like I'm gonna be the most aggressive third base coach. They're gonna have to throw me out a couple times. So, well,
So
how many times have you been before we get off? How many times have you been thrown out of a game?
all right, I have not been thrown out of a game, but so I go. Look. All right. All right. So you and I obviously, I learned from the best. I'm the second most passive aggressive person on this planet, behind Matt Luke. Okay. So I'm like, so I'll tell a story. I got really pissed twice yesterday. Okay. So we had our first tournament. You'll like this. So the first time I was pissed is we were in the first inning, okay, and we had already scored 2 runs. We had bases loaded with no outs. 7 hole hitters hits one right up the chute. Infield fly rule, okay. He yells infield fly. I said, everybody go, because we're gonna have a big inning. I said, go back, stay on the bag, do not move, because you got 14-year-old kids. I say, stay on the bag, do not move. Soon as the ball, they don't catch it. Ball hits the ground. The wind's blowing like 800 miles an hour. Ball hits the ground, and every parent that we had started yelling, "What are y'all doing? Run, run," and yelling at their kids to run. And I'm like, "Stop!" But the parents are yelling, "Run," and they take off running, and we get knocked out of the inning. No play, we're out. Triple play, I guess, on NFL fly rule. We're out. We're out. So I was mad about that, but that wasn't the best part. So this is where I went full Matt Luke yesterday afternoon. Probably the maddest I've ever been at since I've been coaching. Is we're winning 7-1 in the semifinal game. Okay, 7-1. They got runners on second and third,
Where y'all
and they're the
at? Y'all
home team.
playing Oxford, Tupelo? Where y'all?
We were in Horn Lake,
Horn Lake. Okay,
Mississippi. Okay,
gotcha.
and I look, I'm they're 14-year-old kids. All right, let them develop, let them play. We're gonna win. We're gonna try to win, but let's learn how to play the game. Well, we played a team. I want to mention them. I don't want to get anybody mad on here. We played a team that had that coach. You know what I mean? That coach that's nobody likes. Okay, and he was arguing balls and strikes with the umpires and the whole game. Like
Did
usually
he
they get
have
you
did he
thrown
have
out right
tight? He
comfortably.
had tights on under his shorts for sure, probably.
For sure had like leggings, really tight shirt, wristbands, eye black,
I'm with you. I know.
taking
I,
it just
I
a little
can
bit
I
too
can
serious.
picture it. I'm good.
He thinks, I think, if they win the game, that when Snedeker retires from the Braves, that the Braves are going to call him and he's going to be the manager for the Braves. I think that's what he was trying to get out of it.
Got it.
So I'm just sitting on my bucket, minding my own business. We're up 7-1, and I told the kids going out, I said, "Look, we're up 7-1. We had a big inning. I said we're going to trade outs for runs. Okay, so I said, let's get out of the inning." And so, we were in like some new overtime rule because it was 1-1. They had thrown their ace, we thrown our ace. It was 1-1, and you start the inning with runners on second, third with no outs.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we were the visiting team. We ended up scoring 6 runs.
Okay.
Okay, and then they come back and started. I said, we're trading runs for outs. Let them score. Let's go. Let's get out of here. First pitch, ball hits between second and third. Okay, and it hits their runner. You're out. Okay, umpire was badly positioned, and I literally just went, let the play finish. I said, time. I said, Blue, I know you're out of position. I said, can we appeal to home plate, please, and see if the home plate umpire saw it hit the runner? He asked. And while he's doing that, said coach, so I'm on the third base dugout. I walk out like halfway. Said coach is to my left. And he starts trying to tell the officials that that's not the rule, that if the ball hits the runner, he's not out. Because Jackie Robinson used to kick the ball away from when the ball was hit. He was trying to tell the officials that Jackie Robinson used to kick the ball away from people. That's how he was such a great base runner. And I went very passive. I was super passive aggressive. And I'm like, wow, you've been studying this rule since 1942. Congratulations. I was like, so we're playing soccer, not baseball. Okay, I got you. Awesome. I said, that's not the rule. I said, don't do that. That's not the rule. I said, did it hit the runner? Yes. Did it hit the runner? Yes. And the home plate umpire says, coach, I didn't see it. And I'm good. I'm great with them. I hate, because they got a job to do. They don't want to be out there.
Right.
They're trying to get their $50 or whatever they're getting and go home. They don't have any desire to be out there. He says, Coach, I didn't see it. I couldn't tell if it hit the run or not. I said, fair enough. I turned around to walk back to the dugout and said, Coach said something else, and I didn't like it. And so we had a little conversation after that. But yeah,
Gotcha.
that was the maddest I've been. But I have not been thrown out, to answer your
Okay.
question.
All right.
I have not even come close because I'm very good. I learn from the best. I'm just very passive aggressive
There you go.
with the officials. Are you going to be thrown out?
No,
When you coach third base?
I'm more of the dugout coach. I'm more of making sure the on deck batter is we got we're not hitting each other in the dugout, and making sure the on deck batter's on deck, just that type of stuff.
Yeah. What happens when they get to like 14 or
Yeah,
15?
I'm out of it at that point.
You're out.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
just hanging out with Coop,
yeah,
and then you're out after
yeah.
that when he gets a little older.
That's right.
I can't believe it. I think that's what we need to do. You need to come. I'll let you coach third base. I'll go to first base and let you get thrown out at third base.
Yeah, I'll be a third base coach.
All right. Well, dude, I appreciate it. I wasn't even going to talk about it on the last, whenever it was, podcast ago or two. I knew it was coming, and I told Raquel, I said, I don't want to say anything because he's going to go public, and we'll let him do his thing, and then I'll just do it next week. And she goes, oh, well, he's already released a statement. I said, huh? I said, that was fast. So we ended up taping a segment, and I had to, Raquel is like a magician when it comes to editing. She takes out, I say okay about 8,400,000 times on here, and she takes out like 4 million of them. So whatever's left in there is pretty impressive. But I started getting a little emotional, man, and so I had to cut it off because I love you so much, man. You're one of my best friends on the whole planet, and I'm happy for you that you're happy, and I'm happy that what's going on with the family, and you're gonna be there because I know how good it's been for me.
Yeah,
and I'm excited for you and your family, man. So
yeah.
congratulations on
Thank
that.
you.
And,
I'm excited. I'm excited. I don't know what the next chapter holds, but I'm excited for it. Just to be a dad and spend that quality time, man. I'm fired up about it. So.
Well, there's this podcast that tapes on Mondays during the season when we have coaches on. We talk, so there may not be another associate in the future that we might have to get on. So just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. When you like to pick lines and stuff, I mean that's kind of our thing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's legal now. You can go bet your ass off.
Yeah. Oh, I got to double check on all those.
I love it. Well, brother, I appreciate the hell out of your time.
Yeah.
And I know that a lot of people will be listening since this is the debut. Is this the first? When's the last time you spoke in public?
I don't. At Georgia, Kirby doesn't let the assistants, talk. So it's been a while. So I think I did one or two, those kind of like the Georgia shows and the stuff like that. But I hadn't done a whole bunch of them. So
you kind of low key like when you didn't have to talk to media, right?
Yeah, I mean you just got to focus on doing your job. That's pretty good.
Yeah, didn't have to. They'd be like, hey, that's that guy's fault. That guy's fault. Well, I appreciate the hell out of you, brother.
Yeah.
And then we'll get you back on here soon. And because we tape on Mondays, so the golf course is closed on Mondays,
That's
so
right.
you have no excuse.
I appreciate it, Tyler. Thanks for having me on, man.
All right, brother.
All right,
take care.
See you.